Hey guys, Sherry G. Welcome to my channel. Hey, I just want to real quickly do a little cast comparison between two different people. One of the castmates from Love and Marriage Huntsville and one of the castmates from Basketball Wives. Before I do that, let me just say that everything here is alleged. It's of my opinion and the opinion of those who comment down in the comment section. It's for entertainment and learning purposes. If you haven't done so already, hit like, subscribe, hit the bell because I will be back. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed to my channel. I'm really kind of overwhelmed because I just started this and I'm just shy 100, maybe about 150 more subscribers before I reach 1,000. So that kind of blows my mind. And thanks to all of the other content creators and vloggers out there that have told your people about my channel and asked them to check it out. De Silva, Anthony Lofties, I'm trying to think, Sassy T from the 803, and I don't know who else, but just thank you. Thank you. It is much appreciated. Much love to all of you. So, Basketball Wives started its new season 10B, episode 14 on Monday. So they took their season 10 and they did an A version, and now we're in the B version. I started not to watch it, but I was curious, and this show started back in 2010, so it's like in its 13th year. It'll be 13 years in April. So anyway, I watched it before, like years ago, and then it just got really toxic. The castmates, of course, have changed around since then. Two of the OGs are still there, Jackie, Christie, and Jennifer. They're still there, and Jackie is like, she's the older lady in this group of ladies on this particular show. The reason why I picked it back up last season, and only because I was curious or nosy, if that's what you want to call it, because one of the castmates is actually a neighbor. Imagine that. Yeah, she moved into the neighborhood a few months before we did, and I was with another neighbor. We were going shopping because I was trying to do some things in my backyard. And so she was taking me to this nursery to get certain trees and things that I wanted for the backyard. And we were driving when she was driving, and I kind of looked to the right and I go, oh my God, that looked like Duffy. And she said it is. She lives in the neighborhood. So yeah, Duffy is one of the castmates on Basketball Wives, and she lives down the street on the corner from me. So yeah, so that's why I started watching it last season. It was a little toxic, more than I care to, indulge in at this particular stage in my life. But Monday, I decided, let me just see where it's going. Now, Shawnee O'Neal this is her brainchild, and she actually produced the show. She was a castmate on the show at one time, but she's no longer appears on the show. She still produces it. She's married to, I think you pronounce his name, Keon Henderson, and the name of his church is Lighthouse Church. So she's a first lady now, and they're living down in Houston. So so I feel that I enjoyed the show actually on Monday. It was a lot more tamer. There was some conflict, but it was handled much more maturely and without all that throwing at this, and it just wasn't over the top. So it seemed a little more normal, and it was a lot more bearable. So I'll be watching it again on next Monday. And then for those of you who do watch it, I'll give some commentary on how I feel, as far as what's going on that show. But I know all of you don't necessarily watch it. So, when I was watching the show, it's so funny. There was a particular scene where the girls were out and they were taking one of the castmates out because she was feeling down. She just lost her daughter, Brooke, in a tragic accident. And then now she found out that her husband's cheating and she's considering divorcing him, but she's really, really feeling bad. And so Duffy decides, hey, let's have a party to kind of, let's go out. I'm sorry. Let's go out and try to have some fun to lift Brooke up. And so when they're out there, they have these girls and they're twerking and doing all this. And Jackie was taking pictures. And then they said, go ahead and send it to your husband now. And she said, I'm not going to do that because then I might have to catch a plane to go over there. And then it just kind of struck me because Jackie poses herself as very, she says that she's very confident. She's secure in who she is. She's a strong woman, and she is that. But she can be very aggressive and over the top aggressive. But in her relationship, she is insecure. Now, she and Doug have been married 26 years, and every year they renew their vows. They have a big celebration. It's like getting married all over again. But it's themed. It's very elaborate. They're kind of eccentric, and they get all in and they spend like a lot of money. And it takes months. Jackie says it takes months to actually plan out the wedding. But allegedly, her insecurity with her husband has interfered with his professional life as far as it pertains to basketball. He used to play basketball, and now he's a coach for the Sacramento Kings. She's not with him like she was before, like all throughout the earlier years of his career. And they said that it was so bad that he would be on the basketball court, allegedly, and he would signal her, like they would be giving hand signals back and forth while he's playing basketball to say, I love you, and just whatever those different signals meant. And it was just over the top obsessive. She would get upset if a woman was talking to him. Like if a woman came to interview him, she would get upset. She didn't want women interviewing him. Allegedly, she was so insecure in the relationship that he couldn't be with the other guys in the locker room because she wasn't sure if women would be in there. So he had to dress in another part of the space, and then she would have to call in. She would call in just to make sure no women were there. And this kind of reminded me of Tisha because, she too says that she's very secure in her relationship and that she is not jealous. Her husband said, you're acting like the jealous wife. And she said, I'm not jealous. I have no reason to be jealous of anybody. I'm secure in my relationship. But then she's not. Like we seen when they were doing the celebration doing the celebration for chocolate in a bottle. And I think the lady's name was Kira. And she was the lady in the red dress, and Tisha got so upset about that lady speaking to Marceau. And the lady actually came up to speak to Latisha too and to congratulate her the same way that she did with Marceau. But Latisha was so insecure about it that, she went out on the balcony and she was crying, and Marceau had to, come out and try to console her. And we've seen it on a couple of occasions. And allegedly, it's happened with women inside of Black when they come in and they're speaking to her husband, how she gets, and that she just has this bad attitude when it comes to other females and being around her husband. So that is insecure. So it's sitting and I'm wondering, well, where does that come from? Where does that low self-esteem come from? And so with Jackie, she, for whatever reason, her mom decided that it would be best for her to put her daughter in foster care. And so Jackie went into the foster care system at 8 years old. And when she went into the foster care system, she didn't feel welcomed. And it was obvious, allegedly, that she wasn't welcome, that it was just for money. So she never really received that love and that nurturing and that care. So this again goes back to what we were talking about in my last video about how when a parent doesn't build or they don't build you up, or they don't make healthy deposits into your self-esteem bank, that translates over into your relationship. It can translate over into your friendships. It can translate over into your romantic relationships. And that's what's happening, in my opinion, with Jackie. The same thing, in my opinion, is happening with Latisha, because Wanda actually stated that, that she was really rough on her when she was younger. And Latisha actually said that, allegedly said on the show that her mom never told her that she loved her. She says it now. So, and we can see now that they're building that relationship. They really don't give us too much about what their relationship was about. And if you try to do research, Latisha doesn't really talk too much about her childhood. But we do know that her mom was tough on her, and that she never felt, she never heard from her mom that she loved her. So Latisha does have insecurities. She does. And Jackie has potential. I mean, Latisha has potential, but their insecurities get in the way. And the thing about both of these ladies, ironically, we hear that Latisha and Marceau are going to be giving marriage advice, but Jackie always feels like she can give marriage advice. And I'm like, when I used to see Jackie on the show, like trying to give marital advice to the ladies, I'm like, how can you give marital advice and you don't even want your husband out of your eyesight? Like, what are you going to tell them? Your marriage is going to be great as long as you keep him on the ball and the chain. Same thing with Tisha. I mean, what is she going to tell the audience? It's going to be interesting to see. Like, seriously, I know Sugar Mama's products launched that same day. I plan on purchasing for my granddaughter, but I do want to see this interview, because I'm like, what are you going to tell people? Like, your husband talks to you like you're a child. What are you going to tell people? But anyway, I just thought that comparison between the two ladies was just pretty interesting. Or how, when I was looking at Jackie, I immediately thought of Latisha. It's like she's an older Latisha. Hopefully, Latisha will get it together and she won't be as old as Jackie and still dealing with that. Because right now, Doug is coaching the Sacramento Kings, and allegedly, part of the deal is Jackie can't be there, so he can't have any interference. Can you imagine trying to coach the guys, and here's your wife like right up under you, or you got to stop and give all these hand signals when you're trying to coach the guys? Like, how confusing would that be? So anyway, this is her season, and she's feeling like some type of way. Like Jackie says that she's scared because she doesn't know what's going to happen to her marriage. And I'm sure Doug's like, "Ooh, I never felt freedom like this before." That's just my opinion. But he's probably like, "Ooh, this feels some kind of good." She's still trying to call in, though. She snuck in a couple of calls on the show, but the look on his face was like he was being nice, but it's like, you cannot be calling me. That's my opinion. But yeah, hopefully Latisha will get some counseling and get some help, and her and Marceau can work through their issues, because otherwise she just might be just like Jackie. That's all I have for you tonight. You guys have a wonderful night. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, hit the bell, because I will be back. Until then, ciao.